Hi, welcome to What's Hot in Hamilton. Today is a beautiful day and we have a very special guest. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Adam.
And I'm Amy with Ohio Means Jobs.
So, Amy, for viewers that don't know anything about Ohio Means Jobs, let us know about your services and what they provide.
So, Ohio Means Jobs is the local workforce center here in Butler County. We do have one in every county in the state, but locally it's designed to help those that need assistance with work, ideally those that are experiencing workforce barriers. It could be a numerous session of things. We offer all kinds of local connections to communities, to partners. We are actually a group of multiple partner agencies that are all housed within one center for a one-stop shop for our career-seeking individual.
What is your role with Ohio Means Jobs and can you walk me through a typical day?
So at Ohio Means Jobs, my position is called the Business Services Liaison, but I also am a supervisor of the WIOA grant. And we will talk about that in a little bit about when we talk about the extended training and options that are available within our building. But ultimately, my role is to be an assistance to job seekers, employers, and kind of make those connections. I also identify, what barriers somebody may have to employment, and we work through those things with that person by offering multiple different programs, workshops within the building. And again, all of this is free to our local community.
So, how does Ohio Means Jobs connect local job seekers with the businesses in Butler County?
So employers can certainly plug into our environment by attending our hiring events. We have multiple different meeting rooms and spaces where individuals can reserve space for individuals that are interested in looking for jobs. We are not a staffing agency, but we often see individuals that walk in daily looking for immediate work. So I always keep 2 to 3 employers on site weekly. Some are staffing agencies, some are just normal employers looking for help recruiting. Additionally, those employers can also reach out to the business services team, me, and we can connect them with our ohiomeansjobs.com online system. It's powered by Monster, and it's actually a very large system that the entire state utilizes. So individuals that maybe are recently unemployed, they can seek our services or seek jobs through that website. And additionally, our employers can also utilize that programming to look for certain resumes and interested parties. So there's a lot of different ways. The best way would be to connect with your business services team at your local Ohio Means Jobs.
For the viewers that are watching today, what are the steps that they can take to get help through your organization?
So ultimately, it's going to be plugged into our local job center. We were recently at 101 Knightsbridge, Suite 1228, here in Hamilton, Ohio, at the new AM Hub, Advanced Manufacturing Hub. It's a very local spot for anybody that might need the assistance. We are on the bus line. I think that's really important to note. Additionally, stepping in, seeing all the things that are happening, check in with us. We have multiple different hiring events, workshops, different programs that are constantly happening within the building. I like to talk about Ohio Means Jobs kind of being your workforce library, where it's very similar to use your computers, printing, again, job searching, creating resumes. All those things are very available to anybody that just walks through the door. So that's going to be your number one thing. Come in, talk to us. Let's find out where you're at in your workforce journey, and we can help you fight whatever barriers you're currently experiencing.
And you can help people actually work on resumes.
Absolutely. We have multiple resume classes that happen throughout the month. We have a workshop calendar that you can plug into us and get that information. We do have a website that stuff's available on as well if you can't necessarily come in, but we do resume help, interview prep. I personally do a soft skills program or class, if you will, that assists that next level of intro into the workforce industry. So not just your basics, we also upskill a little bit more too.
So paper applications are almost extinct today.
Paper
So when
applications.
someone comes into your organization and they want help, locating a job and they don't understand anything about Monster or Indeed, or how do you help to do that?
So we actually, that's a great question. Thanks for asking, because we have so many people in our environment that are always there willing to help. So we have a resource room. That's the main general area for anybody that just needs to come in and get resources. We always have 1 to 2 individuals that are there in the resource room to assist. Whether you're attending a workshop or you're just there to make a print down from unemployment, there is somebody there that can assist you through this whole process, even if you're not sure how to even log in. We have people there to do that with you.
So with the calendar, is that something that's on your website so that people can see the workshops, or do you have to connect?
It is, but you should probably also connect. And I say that because sometimes we add some of those workshops throughout the month too. Or it's just a lot more available to come in and see what's happening continuously.
And you can just walk in, you don't need an appointment?
That's correct. Now, if you want specific supportive services or one-on-one, you probably would want to do an actual scheduled interview. However, you can definitely walk in. It's open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. to the general public.
Well, thank you.
So what are some of the most in-demand jobs right now in Butler County?
Ultimately, I think it's that manufacturing aspect. We just recently moved into the advanced manufacturing hub, and we talk about that polytechnic aspect of the next session, right? And advanced manufacturing is a giant umbrella. It covers so many smaller entities that we don't think about, right? It's not just CNC manufacturing and machining. Underneath that giant umbrella, it covers HVAC, CDLs, electricians, welders. So there's a lot. If you start to do the math on that and kind of see how that spreads out, our entire county is driven from manufacturing, and really heavy here in Hamilton and Fairfield area too, right? And Middletown. So it's really important that we support our local employers. What our local employers are telling us is we need that young workforce to know what they're doing, working on these machines earlier, right? So they need to be graduated by, that 12th grade, maybe 1 year or 2 year post, ready to actually be functioning on this equipment, whether it be industrial maintenance or something similar. So basically what we're hearing is the manufacturing piece is the most, that industry recognized credential that we talk about so much, and that upskilling aspect of having a skill became really important very recently. And that's what we do at Ohio Means Jobs, is get you to that point.
So you mentioned manufacturing. Do you guys help with restaurants, office work, department stores?
Yes. So my job is not limited to one specific employer. I help any employer that needs the support. I work with a lot of the hospitals too, right? So we talk about nurses and the medical aspect of it as well, which is also very large in our area as far as what's in need. But anything that somebody would need, our services are free. And I think that that's the one thing that I want to hit on, is that we are available to employers and job seekers as a free service to you. And we will do whatever we can to get your information out to the general public and the community as needed.
Great.
Do you find that people are looking more for experience or skills, or is the employer willing to train that person?
That is a great question. And the fact that more times now I'm seeing that employers are willing to train because somebody doesn't come with a certain skill that they got to unlearn, right? So I think it's important that our employers also recognize that they really just need somebody that's willing to show up to work every day. And the one takeaway here, I work with a lot of manufacturers and factories here in our county, and the biggest thing I hear is soft skills. What are soft skills? Soft skills are things like, do you show up to work daily? Do you come on time? Are you calling off all the time? What if your car breaks down tomorrow morning? Do you have a secondary solution to get yourself to work today? Things like that they're kind of lost, and the companies, the employers, not just manufacturers, they're all saying the same thing. And the fact that we need our workforce to be understood of what their expectation is as an employee. So I actually introduced, as I mentioned prior, one of my workshops is soft skills to pay the bills. It's a 2-hour workshop for free, and we talk about all of the things like communication, problem solving, and everything that you can entail in soft skills as far as what's important to being just a general employee, because somewhere along the lines that got lost. So I think that the employers are willing to work with anybody they're given that's willing to show up daily and do the work.
Right.
So you think soft skills would be a no-brainer, but when COVID hit, after that, all them soft skills went out the window.
It sure did, and that's interesting you said that. I actually juggled with making that statement, but it's absolutely exactly what happened. Was we kind of reclused in and didn't get an opportunity to be out as much, and I think that really slowed down our current workforce. So I feel like for us elder workforce, it's our jobs and our duties to kind of get them caught back up to speed, for lack of better words, and that's what we're doing. So the nice part about being in this role is listening to the employers. When they'll tell you what they need, and we react, and that's what we do. And again, we're a free service. So anybody that's like, let me just go hone up on my soft skills, come in, do a 2-hour program. We'll give you a little certificate. You know, it's something that you can say you did, and you're trying to better yourself in your workforce environment.
So in addition to all the resources, what kind of certifications and training programs are there? You mentioned something earlier. Is that one of the things that you offer?
So we do have a government grant that comes through our county called WIOA. It stands for Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. And this is a grant that can assist individuals to attain an industry recognized credential. This is designed to be in 2 years or less. So it's going to be similar to anything that's more like less than an associate's degree or right at. However, it's also designed to be in align with the local workforce needs in our area, right? So it has to be an in-demand job. Currently, Ohio has a list of in-demand jobs, and then of course our little section of the state has in-demand jobs. The ones that we typically get funding for is CDLs, HVAC, welding, LPNs, certified nurses assistants, billing and coding, those kinds of things. So it's designed to align the workforce to get that person to that next level, so that there maybe aren't driving so much off of the government funds, right? So it's ultimately a program that it does go off of an income base.
So you touched on the soft skills. What are some of the biggest challenges employers are facing today when it comes to hiring people?
I think that really it's about that skills outside of the soft skills. So do they have the actual skill to do the job? So I think that that's why we become so relevant in the fact that we are now offering the soft skills, and then we can also help somebody get that industry recognized credential to get them just a little bit more so that they're effective and relevant to the work that they're trying to do. And I think the employers are really just saying, I need somebody that knows more than just a standard restaurant employee, right? And we're trying to get that opportunity out there to our general community. This is an option. We do have resources. You can get out of that rut. Just come see us.
Are people utilizing your organization? And if not, how can we get the word out there that it's a free service and anybody in the community can use, employers and employees or people seeking jobs?
So that's a great question. And the fact that this right here, what we're doing right now, right? Getting this information out, this podcast is amazing. It's touching our local community, but it's going bigger. And getting the word out is probably the biggest challenge we have. We don't have a lot of issues as much as people don't know who we are or what we do. And getting an opportunity to speak on the services and the things we offer, and the fact that we are completely free to our local community is probably the most important part. So thank you guys for helping me get this information out. But it's really, that's why I do things like this, and I'm out in the community. I try to do some outreach here and there. We have a team that does that as well, so that we can continuously talk about our services and what we can help here in the community.
That's great.
This is a good opportunity to let anyone know if there is any upcoming workshops, job fairs. Is there any?
So we always have monthly hiring events in our space. They do happen typically the second week of the month, but they do fluctuate depending on availability of our space. We are currently partnering with a lot of different agencies. So our partner agencies are coming together with us to bring more to the table. And we have our next event's going to be on March 18th, and it's a re-entry event that we're doing with the Department of Corrections, actually. So it's going to be a really awesome event that's going to offer not only employers but resources to individuals that maybe are recently re-entering into our community prior to being incarcerated. So we partner also with our 4-7 Ministries, which is another reentry coalition. OOD, or Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities, is another program that we partner with. So each month we constantly have hiring events that happen on a scale of multiple employers that can see anywhere from 100 to 150 different job seekers at these events. So it's pretty large scale. Additionally, I think I previously mentioned that we have employers that are constantly just reserving space to do hiring and welcoming needs for anybody that might walk to our building today and say, hey, I need some work tomorrow. These staffing agencies are almost always available at least 2 to 3 times a week in our environment. We also have workshops that happen all month long. You can totally find that on our website, but you can also find a copy of that in our local resource room at the Job Center. We do, again, interviewing, resume building, computer basics. I do the soft skills. There are multiple different ways to get plugged into us in workshops and things. There's always something happening in our environment.
That's great, and it's great that you're at the new location too, and seems a little more convenient for
well, that's
people.
What's neat too. You're right. Like, we are seeing, I think, not necessarily more, but a different group of individual that is seeking us out. And I think that's really important to know that we are in a really centralized space now,
right,
where people can find us maybe even easier than before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's become something really important and great. And that's why I'm excited about the next stage for us.
Great.
So it's great that you have organizations like yours. Do you see an increase or decrease in work population today?
I think it's certainly increased because, unfortunately, the times are what they are and things are a little bit harder for individuals. That family that maybe mom stayed at home 20, 30 years ago can't now. So that demand is so much greater. But my role is really to work one-on-one with those individuals and say, hey, I know you need to be home after 2 o'clock because of the kids. Let me find you a role where you're only working part-time, but you can still make ends meet in the meantime. And that's kind of where I'm a little unique in the way of I create relationships with employers so that I know exactly little tiny niches that a job seeker might be able to fill.
We all know people are quick to talk about the negative, criticize, but is there a certain success story to where your organization and you yourself felt validated?
Absolutely. I love the story. So we work with a lot of partner agencies, right? That's part of the deal. And I mentioned before, work with 4-7 Ministries. And they had interacted somebody, they didn't necessarily send this person by case work, but told them about our services, right? So this gentleman was incarcerated at 17 years old, spent about 28 years in or so.
Wow.
Just recently got out 6 months ago, and he knew to seek our services because of one of our partner agencies. And ironically, he ran into me, and I am the one that supervises that adult and dislocated worker WIOA program that assists individuals to get that industry recognized credential. And he interacted with me, and we started talking, and I'm trying to figure out what this guy wants to do. He's got a background, and sometimes some work you can't have a heavy background, especially when you spend that much time in. But he really desired, he was working currently with concrete, and he desired having a CDL license. Something we could certainly assist him with. He qualified. He passed immediately and has a job working for IMI Concrete, making over $40 an hour right now.
Nice.
And he has a new lease on life. And he came back so excited to talk to me about that and thanking me for the opportunity. And my heart was so full, but additionally, it's like, it's not what I did, it was what he did.
Right.
But it's really, really, that's my favorite success story to talk about, because that's why I get to lay my head down at night saying we're doing the right things for our community.
Right.
And individuals that maybe have made a bad decision or a mistake back in a younger part of their life, there's still an opportunity and a chance for you too. And we can help you. I believe that I do truthfully believe there's a job out there for everybody. Let me help you find it.
That's a really good success story, because when people get incarcerated, there's always a chance that they're just going to end up back where they were, or
there's a lot of barriers for anybody that's getting out of incarceration immediately, including obviously workforce. So being that place is really important for us, and having all the partner agencies in the environment together is very warming for them too, because it's kind of like a one-stop shop for them. So they get a chance to kind of touch base with a bunch of different entities in one space and not feel like they're having to go a bunch of different places. So
And you're all pushing them in the same direction.
absolutely, we're all focused on the same goal. That's really what it all is.
If somebody's feeling discouraged or just feels like they're spinning their wheels, what opportunities can you guide them to, and what can you do for them? What word of advice can you give them right now?
I personally always say, as I mentioned before, I think there is a job for everybody out there. Everybody needs a moment to take a moment. And I like to stop with my clients and ask them certain questions. I have a recruiting background, so that helps me identify specific skills and just in conversation and body language with people on what kind of work I think that they'd be good at. And I feel like that's what makes me successful in this current role, is helping that person find that job. And as you mentioned before, I don't just work with manufacturers. I work with all kinds of employers out there, even a small dental office that's looking for a receptionist, from one to the next. And I think there is a job for everybody. So if you're feeling discouraged, or you're feeling like you've put in 40 different applications, I hear it all the time, come see me. Let me look at your resume. Let me give you some tips and tricks. Let's sit down and do some mock interviews. Let's talk through the things that you are experiencing in your life, and maybe I can help you identify things that maybe the employer doesn't see.
well, I think this was a much needed conversation. I didn't know what Ohio Means Jobs, like everything that you taught us. Like, I think it's a great organization. And like you said, people just don't know about it. So they need to know about it.
I agree.
So thank you.
I'm very passionate about what I do. You get me talking about it long enough and I'll just grow. But I think it's important to anybody that is looking for work. If you feel like you don't know what else to do, come seek our services. We're free to you. We are in your community. We're right here. My information is going to be in the link after this podcast. So please reach out to the business services team if you need any assistance with work, whether you're a job seeker or an employer.
Well, Amy, thank you so much for being here. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, I learned a lot, and I know it sounds like a broken record. I say it every episode, but maybe that's the purpose of this show, that it needed to happen, because people do need to learn a lot.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Hamilton. I hope you learned something yourself. And if you need a job, please reach out to Amy and her services. I'm Ryan.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Amy. Come see me at Ohio Means Jobs.
From local shops to packed out